What's going on, riders? It's your boy Infinit Ryda, and I did want to let y'all know that today's video is a little bit longer than typical. I'm gonna be talking about Harley here, but I did want to let you know at the end of the video there are some updates that I think are pretty big, and it'll be great for everyone, not just the channel. So make sure you stay tuned in to the end of the video. If it's your first time by the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, like and comment below, and welcome to my world. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this baby right here though. Let's get it started. Today we're doing something a little different. I know people have been asking for a video talking about all the upgrades I've done to Harley, and we're actually going to go ahead and do that today.
Infinit Ryda.
I'm not technically crazy, I'm just making videos. Alright, so first things first, let's get my parts list pulled up. Going over every part I've put on her. I need my gloves. There we go. Alright. So when I first got Harley, she looked nothing like this. You wouldn't even think it was the same bike. She was blue, just a real classic look, not very aggressive looking at all. And when I got her, I immediately wanted to change that about her. Whoa. So one of the first things I did was decide on how I wanted her to look as far as with the paint job, because I'm not a fan of blue. If you can't tell, actually that'd be a great thing. I'm gonna let y'all guess down below. I have two colors I'm fond of, and I'm wondering if y'all can figure out the two colors I like. So guess down below what my favorite colors are. But anyway, I decided on what kind of look I wanted her to have, and I had just recently painted my truck with a bed liner called SEM Rocket Liner, I think it is, or something like that. And I got quite a few compliments on the way that looked, and I love the way it looked. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do with Harley? So I decided to go ahead and completely sand her down, fix any imperfections, which there was absolutely none on here, except for I peeled off a little clear coat when I took a big military decal that was on the side of her. I took that off and it ripped off some of the clear coat. So that's the only imperfection I really had to fix. Other than that, the bike was in mint condition. And then I decided to go ahead and get her painted up, and I painted her with Raptor liner. That's right, truck bed liner is what she's painted with. I thought it would give it a really aggressive look. I hadn't seen any other bikes looking like this ever, and I was like, you know what, that would look really cool, and it'll be a very durable paint job. So that's what I ended up doing. The next thing I decided I wanted to do is I really wanted her to have kind of a club style look, but I didn't have like club style money to make it fully club style. So I did it gradually. The first thing I did was end up working on my front a little bit, the look of it, which I ended up going with a knockoff Daymaker off of Amazon, because I could not afford the real Daymaker, and I'm surprisingly happy with this Daymaker. And I went with a front, I don't even know what it's actually called, the front fairing. I call it the headlight fairing, but it's basically this piece right here, my front fairing. I grabbed one of those off of Amazon as well, and I was like, okay, the bike's looking pretty good, so that's what I did. Then I decided I wanted to basically change out everything on there that I wasn't fond of. I didn't like the original levers that were on here, so I ended up picking up some Drag Specialty slotted levers. So that's what's on there now, the Drag Specialty slotted levers. And I went with the Avon old 69 grips, because they have like that bottle cap look, and it looks kind of classic and old. And they were very reasonable, so that's what I threw on there. I also got these slash mirrors put on here that I got off of Amazon. They're no particular brand or anything. I just wanted some really low profile mirrors, so that's why I went with those. So what else did I do to the front end of this puppy? Of course, the biggest upgrade to the front, or the control center, which is this area here, is going to be my Lucky Dave's handlebars. So as you all know, or you may not know, I'm not sure, but Lucky Dave's makes some of the best MX style bars for Harley-Davidson. And they got so many different heights and different styles to choose from. I didn't want my hands all the way up here, and I didn't want them too low. So I reached out to Lucky Dave's, and they actually asked me my height and everything and what kind of bike I was riding. And for where I told them I wanted my hand placement, they suggested the 12-inch bars. So I ended up getting the 12-inch San Diego bars, which that's what's on here right now, which I love the feel of them. It got my hands placed exactly where I wanted for it to be still comfortable and allow me plenty of control of the motorcycle. I feel like when the bars are up too high, you lose some of that control of your bike, especially when it comes to counter steering and things like that. But when they're like right here, like level with your nipples, I guess that's a good position for hand placement on like a cruiser or a Sportster or something like that. So my Sportster did not come with a speedo originally, because the guy took it off when he had his other bars on here, and I wanted a speedometer, so I grabbed the speedometer off eBay and threw it on here. I tried to find one as close to matching the miles that the bike had as possible, but I couldn't, so I just picked this one up. But I just know how many miles are on the bike. So the bike already had low miles when I got it. I think it had like 2,000 miles or something. So I put the speedo on here, and I didn't want my speedometer mounted where you typically would see a speedo, right there in the center. I wanted it either on the side or mounted to the engine, but I've seen some different engine mounts. But I thought about it, the engine on Harley shake a lot. I don't want to be looking at a vibrating speedometer. So I went with this DK custom side mount speedo relocation kit, and it's been doing really well, and I love the placement of it. I still can see what speed I'm going and glance down at my speedo when I need to. So if I'm riding like this, I just take a look down, and I know typically around where I am as far as speed and everything like that. So what else did I do to the front part of the bike? I did just recently, which you've probably seen a few videos back, I threw on the lower fairing. I think it's called a chin spoiler on here, which I got that off Amazon as well. It was very reasonably priced, and I love the look of it, but it literally sucks to install. I ain't gonna even lie. It's like horrible to put that thing on here. So we'll continue with up front. Also, what I added on here is the bike came with an Arlen Ness Big Sucker air filter, but literally everybody has the Big Sucker, and I didn't want something that everybody else has, so I ended up getting rid of that, and I got the Monster Sucker, which gives it that L shape, and I feel like it pushes a little bit more air into the engine. I mean, it may not do much at all, but I just like the look of this air filter, and I just think it makes the bike look a lot better. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Also, what else did I do on this front section? I changed out my foot pegs. The original foot pegs were the original Harley pegs, you know, just the little round knobs, the little circle ones that's completely covered in rubber. And I wanted something with a little bit more purchase for my foot that still looked really nice. So I ended up going with the Kuriakin foot pegs. I forgot what these ones are specifically called, but they have like a replaceable rubber grip, so if it ever wears down, I could just replace the grip. And so I call these like lifetime pegs, and they actually really comfortable. And while we're talking about pegs, the bike did not come with rear pegs for a passenger. So on eBay, I found a rear peg kit that came with some Willie G pegs already on it. I mean, they were a little scratched up, but hey, I picked those up, and those work good for the passenger pegs. So when it came to seats, I have been through so many different seats. I had the original stock Sportster seat on here when I first got her. Then after that, I ended up picking up, it was, I forgot what it was called, but it was another Harley seat, and it wasn't very comfortable to me. After that, I ended up getting the Saddlemen cafe seat, but the wife hated riding on that because of the hump and how it slopes down in the back. So now I have the Saddlemen Step Up, which out of all the seats I've had, this is literally my favorite seat. Saddlemen literally gave me the best customer service ever, and like I'll recommend them for life. Like, the seat looks good, it's high quality, and they took great care of me. So if you're looking for a seat for your Sportster, your cruiser, whatever you own, you strongly should consider the Saddlemen seat. And I'm gonna have to say the step up. I mean, I love the step up. It gives you that rear support on my back, especially since this baby is extremely torquey now. You know, I'm not sliding out of this seat. It's like literally impossible. So I literally love this Saddlemen seat. So with the Saddlemen seat, which I already had that on there as well, I got a knockoff Burly sissy bar that I ended up getting. I believe I got this one off of eBay. It's actually, it says Burly in the title. It's a Burly short sissy bar is what it's called, and it has the little passenger pillion back there for comfort or whatnot. I can't say it's too comfortable. It's like a little pad about that big, but you know. And while we're talking about Burly, which it was a knockoff Burly, I have the Burly brand Stiletto shocks with the red accents on them. And I believe mine are the 13-inch. I didn't want to go 15-inch. I felt like that's just too tall. So I got the 13-inch Stiletto shocks, and these shocks are amazing. If you put somebody on the back, it supports them with no problems. You can adjust the firmness of them as far as how your riding style is. Mines are adjusted exactly the way I like them, but like the Burly brand shocks is where it's at. If you got a Sportster, you gotta have Burly brand Stiletto shocks. It don't matter if it's just a Sportster. If you got a Sportster, you got a lowrider, you have a Dyna, any of those, you need to have some Burly brand Stiletto shocks on there because they're very reasonably priced. I mean, the Olins are going to be a lot better shock, but you're going to pay for that. Versus the Burly brand is reasonable, and I mean, the performance on them, top notch, baby. So also, I didn't really like halogen lights. I felt like halogen makes things look a little bit more old-fashioned, even though my bike is older. It's a 07. I wanted to get LEDs all the way around. So I got some LED bulbs. Are you really about to just... Okay, player. So I ended up getting some LED bulbs online at... Where'd I get these bulbs? I got these LED bulbs from Amazon. It came with the front as well as the rear. The rear only come on when it's time to blink. The front ones are a cool white color, and they change yellow when you cut on your blinker. So now for my rear light, I ended up getting an LED. It looks like some slashes or whatnot. I got it off Amazon. It's a real cool looking LED tail light that I liked. And I think it works amazing. It's very bright. It looks good. It looks different than most Harley lights because it just got the 3 LED lines going down. And I think it goes with the bike really, really well because I was trying to go for an aggressive looking Harley-Davidson. Now, when it comes to bags for a Sportster, there's not a lot of option when it comes to storage. It really isn't, especially when you want to have passenger pegs on the bike. So I tried a lot of different Swingarm bags, but not many of them would work when it comes to passenger pegs. So I saw in, I believe it was Blockhead's video, don't quote me for sure, but I think it was Blockhead. I watch a lot of moto vloggers, so I could be getting him mixed up with someone else, but he had mentioned the Willie Maxx Swingarm bag, so that's what I'm running. I got a Willie Maxx Swingarm bag for storage. I don't keep a lot in there because the bag's not huge or anything, but I got like some water in there and some little stuff in case I need to carry anything. I can put that in there. So those are pretty, and it's really good quality. It's like a nice feeling, real rigid leather, and it's backed with plastic on there to keep it, you know, pretty secure or whatnot. But that's my bag I got on there. So what else? What am I leaving off? What am I leaving out? Oh, so some of my engine little covers, side covers, like the timing chain cover and all that stuff, they looked a little scuffed when I got the bike, but they weren't necessarily scuffed. They were just kind of like oxidized and worn out. So one of the first things I did when I got the bike is I replaced all those with Willie G side covers because I love the look of the Willie G. So I got Willie G side covers on my engine parts. So one of the biggest upgrades I did to Harley was the Hammer Performance 1250 conversion. Yeah, she came stock as an 883 when I bought her. I mean, I got a really good deal on her, so I couldn't turn it down. I'm not turning down a Sportster with around 2,000 miles on it for about $2,000. Basically, I paid $2,000 flat for the bike. There's no way I'm turning down a Sportster for that price. and it was in great condition. I put the 1250 conversion kit on here, which definitely changed the bike drastically. Like, she's a totally different machine now. And to get all them fumes flowing up out of her, I already had these pipes, but I have the Vance and Hines mini grenades on here. I'm a big fan of Vance and Hines. Those are the only type of pipes I usually run on any of my cruiser type of bikes. When I had the Boulevard, I had Vance and Hines on there. I had another set of Vance and Hines before this, I believe. No, I had the LAF pipes before this. Vance and Hines has perfected the exhaust pipe for Harley-Davidson. They literally have the most amazing note coming out of them. You got so many different options, and they are very good quality. So I love these mini grenades because they are stupid loud. Like, I mean, just flat out don't make no sense loud. I mean, it irritates other people, but I like them a lot. So yeah, so that's what I got on here as far as exhausts are the Vance and Hines pipes. Let me think, am I leaving anything off? Oh, I use the FP3 tuner to tune the bike, which there's pros and cons to that. If you want to know about those, you have to watch one of my other videos, or I just don't want to talk about it right now because I had some headaches with that thing. But let's see, am I forgetting anything? Trying to think. I know what I forgot. I forgot one of the most important things on the motorcycle. What gets it moving? What connects this puppy to the road? And that is my Michelin Commander. Commander what? 3, 2, 4? What are these? Michelin Commanders? Actually, no. I'm going to pull over and find out what kind they are right this damn second. No point in waiting, right? Let's find out what we got here. I have Commander 2s. Okay. So yeah, it's the Michelin Commander 2 tires, which out of any tire on a cruiser or anything I've ever ran, this is probably my favorite tire. This thing literally sticks to the road and delivers the power immediately. And you can lean this thing over in a corner and it just grips. It's very grippy. It's more like a sporty tire for a cruiser. It's a very sporty tire, and the mileage on these things is just ridiculous. Like, they last for a while. So yeah, that's what I got as far as tires, and I think that's pretty much it for all the upgrades I've done on the bike. So I completely converted this baby into exactly what I wanted, and I'm completely happy with her. There's like 2 or 3 more things I want to do to it. I want to get an LED kit on here so it'll glow at night. Just some things to make myself more visible, and it just looks cool as shit. And maybe a few other things that I'm not going to talk about right now, but I plan on doing to her. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I finally have went over every single upgrade that I could possibly remember on the bike. I apologize if this was not as organized or as professional as everyone probably would like going through the upgrades. I may do another video similar to this at a later date where I go over everything, but I'm not riding while I'm going over it. But I wanted to get out and ride today, so I was like, I'll just talk about my upgrades while I ride. Why not? I also have the InfinitRyda.com almost complete. The only thing up there right now is the landing page stating coming soon, but that will be a great place for all of y'all to go to. I have a lot of things that's going to be on there. You'll be able to there'll be forums on there where you guys will be able to put up different type of topics, ask questions, talk and conversate. There will also be different articles on there where I have myself and some other people from the motorcycle community, as well as other moto vloggers writing articles that I'll share on there as well. There'll also be a blog section where I'll be writing up different type of blogs and things like that. They may not be that great. I'm not a writer, but I'm gonna give it a try. There'll also be shopping on there. where you can buy some exclusive Infinit Ryda shirts, as well as some other shirts that may not just be Infinit Ryda, and other different type of things on there as well. You'll also be able to download music to use in your videos if you're a moto vlogger as well. I'm just trying to make it a complete website for everyone to embrace riding a motorcycle and get out there and stay engaged. And I just want everyone to be as passionate about bikes as I am, you know what I'm saying? So that site should be up within the next 1 to 2 weeks. Hopefully I'll have it up by the end of this week, but it may take me until the beginning or middle of next week to get everything finalized. So just definitely look forward to that. But I'm about to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my ride. It's your boy Infinit Ryda signing out. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like and comment below. And as always, stay safe, be blessed, and get out there on 2 wheels, people. Love y'all. Deuces.
Infinit Ryda.
What's going on, riders? It's your boy Infinit Ryda, and today I know some people have been asking from time to time about let me see. What's going on, riders? It's your boy Infinit Ryda, and there's been people asking different questions about all the upgrades I've done to Harley. I'm not technically crazy, I'm just making videos.